In the previous episode, I've told you about how I came across Paco and Luis and that manuscript. I was also telling you about Paco's backpack. So of course, at school every day, his backpack had the unique function of carrying books and pencils. But there was always room for an invention, for a small knife, for a bit of string, or even something to play or to show to his friends. You must be wondering if Paco and Luis liked school. Well, in actual fact, not really. Like most children of their age, what interested them above all were animals. Of course, the farm animals they took care of with their parents, the roosters, the hens, pigs, and Luis's parents' cow, which had to be fed every day, but also the sheep and the goats of Paco's family, which always had to be brought back in the evening, because they often wanted to graze on the neighbor's grass and sometimes even sleep there. There was an animal that Paco and Luis loved more than anything else. That was their cat. So yes, they didn't live together, but they shared a cat. This cat was called Chachou. Chachou was very intelligent. He knew exactly how to make Paco and Luis do whatever he wanted, and often the two boys said that he only lacked speech. When he wanted to eat, the two boys brought him food. When he wanted to rest, he disappeared. When he wanted his belly scratched, he would go to Luis, who loved doing that for him. When he wanted to play, he would go to Paco, who always had an idea to invent a game for his cat. Chachou, thus, brought Paco and Luis together beyond the typical friendship between two young boys. They shared something else. They shared an animal, and their love for this cat was immense. One beautiful morning, according to the faithful account found in a manuscript, it was Paco who first began to look for Chachou. Often in the morning, Chachou would come to drink goat's milk from Paco's house. But that morning, there was no cat. Paco thought that the milk from the day before might have turned, and that there might be a little left in the bowl. He threw it out, rinsed the little cup, and filled it with warm milk straight from the morning milking. He got ready, grabbed his bag, and set off for school like every morning. Luis' parents' house was literally just a few dozen meters away. They weren't exactly next door neighbors. Their house didn't touch, but when Luis left for school, he always went to pick up Paco. Paco tended to be a little bit late, and Luis always a little bit early, another detail that made their friendship perfect. "Good morning, Paco," said Luis as he arrived at the gate. "Let's go, or we'll be late. Hurry up." Luis immediately saw that his friend Paco looked very upset. "What's wrong?" said Luis. "Well," said Paco, "I didn't see Chachou this morning." "Was he at your place? Did you see him?" "He didn't drink his milk, and usually he never misses a serving of milk. It's very strange. I'm very worried." "Did you look in the garden?" said Luis. "No," said Paco, "I didn't have time. I looked for him in the house, but I didn't find him. And his basket is cold. He didn't sleep there. Let's go check the garden. Maybe he's chasing chickens, chicks, or any other birds." They went around the house, and upon arriving in the garden, they saw traces. They saw tracks on the ground, or rather prints, that they were not used to seeing. "Look," said Luis, "the prints go around the house and go under the kitchen window, which overlooks Chachou's basket exactly." "But," said Paco, "what kind of animals' prints are these? They are not sheep prints. They're not dog prints, and they're certainly not monkey's prints. Look, it looks like 5 claws per paw. It is a 4-legged animal that was probably dragging something. Their parents had already gone to work. Paco and Luis decided to go and ask the neighbor for advice. The neighbor was an old retired lady who knew many things, and they both thought she could help them. She quickly arrived on the crime scene and began to carefully inspect the prints. She got down on all 4 on the garden grass, and since she was quite old, neither Paco nor Luis thought she could stand up again. But after a few minutes, she raised her head, knelt down, and used it to stand up. I have some very bad news, she said with a sigh. These prints, they're crocodile's prints. It's been years since I've seen any. First of all, we're still several hundred meters from the river. And secondly, since the village has grown and there's a fishing port on the river, the crocodiles have fled. They ended up much further from the village because they avoid humans. It is very strange that a crocodile crossed the whole village to come and hunt your cat. Especially that you didn't hear anything because the cat must have fought and struggled when it was caught by the crocodile. I am sorry, my friends, but I think you will never see your cat again. Paco and Luis looked at each other, tears in their eyes, and immediately they thought the same thing. There was no question of abandoning Chachou. Let's go to the river, said Luis. Let's try to follow the tracks of this crocodile and understand what happened. And what happened next, you will find out in the next episode.